Hey everybody, it's Dave from Clean Pro Supply and Resin Force Products, and in this video we're going to talk about insurance. A lot of people ask, as a new business owner, do I need insurance? Or if you're a longtime business owner, maybe you've never had insurance, stop, get insurance. Is it suggested? Yes. Is it mandatory? Absolutely. There's a lot that can happen either in an office, in a vehicle, out on a job site, no matter where you are operating as a business. There's a lot of liability and risk that could be a factor. You definitely need business insurance to operate as a business. Whether you're doing something with subcontractors, employees, working for other people, working for yourself, whatever the situation, make sure there's always insurance coverage for everything you're doing, and it's well documented, and it's actually covering the type of work you're doing. To give you a little bit of a recap, your premiums are going to be based on the type of work you do. Of course, the riskier work you do, your premiums are going to be higher. The less risk your work is, the lower your premiums are going to be. And the reason for that is because higher risk work is obviously at higher risk for causing a claim, which is going to cost the insurance company more money. So of course your premiums are going to be a little bit higher to cover that. But don't fudge the numbers, because if something happens and you're doing something that's different than what you're essentially covered for, will they cover a claim if you submit a claim? Maybe yes, maybe no. But even if they do cover that claim, they may drop you right after that, or they're going to redo your premium, and your premiums are going to go through the roof. First step, make sure you have business insurance. Second step, make sure it's documented for the proper type of scope of work you're doing, whether it's in the field, in an office, a retail establishment, whatever you're doing, make sure it's documented for the type of work you're doing to make sure you're accurately paying a premium to coincide with that type of work. And also that way, when you come time for your quarterly audits for workers' comp, again, your numbers all drive out to be the same. You don't get whacked with a big bill. Now, talking a little bit on employees versus contractors, this kind of goes one step deeper. Do I need insurance for a subcontractor? Do you need it? No. Is it good to have it? Well, maybe. If you're hiring a subcontractor to do some work for you or under you, they should be bringing their own insurance to the table. Now, I would personally not recommend a subcontractor who does not provide insurance, because if something happens, I don't want to be liable. I'm paying them to bring in their experience, their knowledge, their training, their tools, their equipment. They're bringing everything to the table to do that work. But if they don't have insurance, and if something happens, now I'm liable for their work. Why am I liable? I'm not taking in, there's no benefit to me to assume that risk, unless I'm padding it with more profit, maybe, but not something I'm interested in. Now, if you're still curious, can you hire a subcontractor who does not provide their own insurance? Yes, you could, but make sure on your insurance policy you have subcontractor coverage, because if you do have subcontractor coverage, you're going to pay a premium for that. But then if something happens over here with the subcontractor, then you're going to still file that claim. However, if you don't have subcontractor insurance, it's just going to get denied. So make sure you either have subcontractor coverage on your policy, knowing that you're going to pay a premium for that, so you have to factor that into the cost of the work you're doing, and also factor that into, maybe someone's paying you $1,000 for a job and you're subcontracting it to someone else for $850. That $150 difference that you're keeping, is that $150 really worth having, the premium that you're paying to that subcontractor coverage? Maybe it is, maybe it's not, I don't know. And how much are you covering over the entire year? So subcontractors should always be bringing their own insurance. This is just my personal recommendation. However, with your employees, of course, you're going to have insurance anyway, but even if you don't have employees, you're just doing the work yourself. By law, are you required to have workers' comp as a business owner? No, at least not in New York. I'm not sure how it is in other states, but as a business owner, I do not need workers' comp on myself, but liability insurance, absolutely, because if something happens, I want to make sure that I'm covered so that I'm not getting sued. The last thing we want to do is get blasted with a massive insurance claim, and then I got to pay it out of pocket. Of course, that's just why we have insurance. But if your contractor's out in the field doing commercial work, most of the time those commercial businesses are not even hire you as a contractor to do work for them without insurance. Same way, I'm not going to hire a subcontractor to work for me without insurance, because if something happens, someone's going to get sued, basically, and we don't want that to happen. Just file the claim, get it covered. That's what you pay insurance for. If you're doing residential work, is your customer going to ask you for insurance? Most likely not, but it's still good to have, because if something happens and somebody gets hurt, or you cause property damage to the homeowner's property or a car or whatever, you want to make sure you have that coverage, because in the back of your mind, if you know you've got a $500 deductible on liability insurance and you just smash someone's Mercedes, okay, well, I'll file a claim. We do everything by the book. I'll pay $500. Don't worry, customer, we'll take care of it. I deeply apologize. you're going to be covered. Let's just go through the motions of making sure we document everything properly. You'll get a check or however that ends up playing out. And as a business owner, for me, I'm not losing sleep over it because I know I'm only going to be paying out that $500 deductible. I don't have to pay $5,000, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000, whatever that damage is. They're not going to come suing me. Now, this is where another topic comes in. What's your coverage limit? If you're only covered up to $25,000 and you just caused a $50,000 damage, yeah, they're going to come suing you for that difference. So most business insurance policies are going to be 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 5 million. I personally recommend for contractors to have at least $2 million in coverage, maybe like a 1 million, 2 million policy. You could have more if you're working on bigger commercial job sites, but for residential, generally the 1 million, 2 million is adequate. But talk to your insurance agent to make sure that you have the proper coverage for the type of work you're doing in the proper environment that they recommend you having the coverage for. But definitely in business insurance, 100% mandatory. Do it. If you don't have it, get it. If you have any further questions beyond what I just explained in this video, feel free to comment below and I'll answer it, and happy to help. Take care.